YouTube? It's your boy Jalil back with another reaction video. Today I reckon to Isiah Thomas highlights. Bro, I ain't talking about the subject of Isiah Thomas. I'm talking about Detroit Pistons legend point guard Isiah Thomas. Now, if you don't know who this is, then go read about him. I'm gonna go see how good he was actually. We're gonna watch his highlights. Like, comment, subscribe, and let's get it. Hold on, we're starting off. Let's start this off nicely.
Joe deep.
This is GOAT season.
Down the lane. Pitches wide of the lane to Isiah.
Hey, to the left.
They could cut it back to 4, maybe 3. Isiah trapped on the outside. Larry Smith all over him. He'll lean in. Found the open.
How do you get the ball through there?
Over 7 to play in the half. Isiah went baseline and brought it down. Isiah catches it wide of the lane, takes it down, and sticks it. Dumars to Isiah. He'll force him the foul line in the crowd. He got it back in again. He can feel it right now. And Thorpe threw it away. Dumars the other way to Isiah. And a save away by Lambeer. Again, it comes into Rocket's hands, but Thorpe drops it. Isiah, coast to coast, and up and in. The off the wicket. Isiah, post. Again, it comes into Rocket's hands, but Thorpe drops it. Isiah, post to coast, and off the window. Dumars topside to Isiah against Sleeping. Tried to show and go. Contact at the foul line. He sticks it. He's fouled.
This might be the wrong video.
Isiah Thomas was a bad boy. He was controversial and damn fast. Thomas is a 2-time NBA champion and is considered one of the best small players ever. But how good was Isiah actually? Road to the NBA. The youngest of 9 children, Isiah Thomas grew up extremely poor. Growing up among guns, drugs, and violence, basketball was always his refuge. Isiah started dribbling at the age of 3, and by the time he finished high school, he was probably the best ball handler in the country. Standing at 6'1" and weighing 170 pounds, Isiah was the smallest player on every team. But due to his dribbling speed and toughness, he was able to lead his high school to the state title game as a junior. And in 1979, he was a member of the winning United States team at the Pan American Games. Indiana Hoosiers were one of the best and most famous basketball programs in the country, and the hard-nosed point guard from Chicago impressed their head coach Bobby Knight. So he gave Thomas a scholarship and a starting spot as a freshman, averaging 14 points and 5 assists per game. As a sophomore, Isiah became a captain, and Coach Knight gave him more freedom offensively. Thomas improved his averages to 16 points and 6 assists, with a phenomenal 55% shooting percentage. He was far from a great outside shooter, but he was nearly unstoppable driving to the basket. Isiah dominated and led the Hoosiers to the 1981 NCAA title, earning the award for the most outstanding player. After the championship, Thomas decided to skip his final 2 years of college and declare for the 1981 NBA draft, where he was selected second overall by the Detroit Pistons. Immediate All-Star. Before Isiah Thomas was drafted, the Pistons were a disaster, finishing with the worst record in the league for 2 straight seasons. Isiah's arrival propelled Detroit to 18 more wins than the previous year, and he immediately became the team leader. With 17 points, 8 assists, and 2 steals on average, he was an all-star starter as a rookie. Only 11 other players have made the All-Star in their rookie.
Wait, what does it
Immediately
say?
became the team leader. With 17 points, 8 assists, and 2 steals on average, he was an all-star starter as a rookie. Only 11 other players have made the All-Star in their rookie year before Isiah did it in 1982, and 11 players did it since. As a sophomore, Thomas improved his averages to 23 points, 8 assists, and 2.5 steals. He made another All-Star game, but the Pistons again failed to make the playoffs. However, in 1984, that would change. After 6 years with a losing record, the Pistons had the best offensive rating in the NBA and finally had a winning season, qualifying for the playoffs. Isiah averaged 21 points and 11 assists in the regular season and was the MVP of the All-Star game. In the playoffs, the Pistons had a tough matchup against the Knicks and Bernard King, who averaged an almost unbelievable 42 points in the series. In pivotal Game 5, Isiah scored 16 points in the last 2 minutes to force the game into overtime. However, he then fouled out in the OT, and the Knicks held on to the win. In 1985, Isiah led the league in assists with 13.9 dimes per game, which was the best passing year in NBA history at the time, a record that was later broken by John Stockton. In the playoffs, Zeke led the Pistons to their first series win in 9 years, but then they immediately lost in the next round to the Celtics, despite Isiah averaging 25 points and 11 assists. Getting closer. 1986 was business as usual for Isiah Thomas. He averaged 21 and 11 in the regular season, and he was again named the MVP of the All-Star game. But the Pistons failed to go deep in the playoffs, losing in the first round to Dominique Wilkins' Hawks. Ultra-competitive Isiah hated losing more than anything, and he demanded the team officials to bring in quality players. The Pistons responded by drafting Dennis Rodman and John Salley, and trading for his 6-time All-Star Adrian Dantley. With the growth of Joe Dumars, and especially with the addition of Rodman, the Pistons improved their biggest Achilles heel, defense. Detroit won more than 50 games for the first time in 15 years, and even more importantly, they started winning in the playoffs. They swept the Bullets and defeated the Hawks 4-1 to advance to the Eastern Finals against Boston. The series was tied after 4 games, and Game 5 will be forever remembered as one of the worst mistakes of Isiah's career. Detroit had a 1-point lead and the ball, with 5 seconds to go, and they only had to keep possession to win. But Thomas then hastily inbounded the ball. Bird stole it, and Boston won the game. Isiah recovered and played great in a Game 6 victory. However, Bird was simply too good, and the Celtics won the series. In 1988, the Pistons blossomed defensively, with the second-best defensive rating in the NBA, and with 7 players scoring in double figures. To get everybody involved, Isiah didn't dominate the ball as much. He sacrificed his stats and averaged less than 20 points and 10 assists for the first time in 5 years. But it paid off. Detroit got past the Bullets, then smacked Jordan and the Bulls, and finally got past the Celtics to reach their first NBA Finals in 32 years. Before the finals against the Lakers, Isiah and his good friend Magic Johnson kissed on the cheek before the start of Game 1, but the friendliness of the 2 best NBA point guards stopped there. The finals offered plenty of drama, most notably Game 6, which became the most famous game of Thomas's career. Detroit had a 3-2 series lead, and Isiah scored 14 straight points in the third quarter, but everything seemed doomed when he severely sprained his ankle and couldn't get up. In one of the most heartfelt moments in NBA history, Isiah refused to sit out and continue to play. He was limping on one leg for the rest of the game and ended up scoring 25 points in the third quarter alone and 43 points total. The Pistons had the title in their hands with 45 seconds to go, but they couldn't hold on to the lead, losing 103-102. Game 7 was just as close, but with Isiah not at full strength, the Lakers won the game and the title. Isiah was devastated, crying as he was leaving the floor. Bad boys. After 2 heartbreak Game 7 losses, a team can either break or break through. The Pistons were tough as nails, and Thomas would rather die than stop trying to win. Detroit was a highly unusual team who did everything by committee, while other teams had at least 1 or even 2 players who averaged more than 20 points. Isiah led the Pistons in scoring with just 18 points per game. The Pistons became the first team in NBA history that was winning games primarily with their defense and toughness. Isiah infected the Pistons with a sick desire to win at all costs. The entire team was so blinded by winning the trophy that they went to the extremes, especially Mahorn and Lambier, who is often considered the dirtiest player ever. While Lambier and Mahorn were dealing all the punches, Thomas was the leader. He was the one who raised their aggression to the point where the rest of the league hated them. Due to their dirty antics, they got nicknamed the Bad Boy Pistons. Despite all the dirty fouls and cheap shots, no one can ever dispute one thing. The Bad Boy Pistons were the true definition of a team. Their selflessness was unreal, and they were ready to die for each other on the court.
Damn.
Isiah consciously sacrificed his minutes for Dumars and Vinnie Johnson, and he shot less so that others could flourish. Isaiah's determination resulted in the best year ever for the Pistons, who won 63 games in the regular season and clinched the best record in the league. In the playoffs, they swept the Celtics and the Bucks, and in the Eastern Finals, they had to go through the best player in the NBA, Michael Jordan. But then, Isiah introduced the Jordan rules, which meant stopping the best player in the league at all costs. Punches, trash talk, fouls after the whistle, and intimidation were all used to slow down Jordan. MJ and Pippen were beaten to a pulp, and the Pistons proceeded to the NBA Finals, again against the Lakers. However, this time around, Kareem was too old, and Magic was hobbled and didn't play the entire series. Even if he was healthy, the Pistons were just too good, too united, and too determined to win. They ended up sweeping the Lakers 4-0, with Joe Dumars winning the Finals MVP. Next season, the Pistons continued their dominance, winning 59 games and finishing first in the East. Isiah led the team in scoring and assists, with 18 points and 9 dimes per game. After sweeping the Pacers and defeating the Knicks in 5 games, Thomas and the Pistons faced a tough 7-game series against the Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals. While Jordan was able to get his points in Game 7, the Pistons suffocated the rest of the Bulls, who shot a miserable 23% from the floor. The Pistons comfortably won and proceeded to the finals against Portland. In the finals, Isiah played probably the best playoff series of his life. He averaged 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists, shooting 55% from the floor and an otherworldly 70% from 3. His and the team's confidence was through the roof, and even though the Blazers got close in most of the games, Isiah willed the Pistons to a 4-1 win and a back-to-back title. We never quit. We always feel we are going to win, no matter what the score is. It's all a battle of will. You have to keep asking yourself, how bad do you really?
Okay, so that gives me what I wanted to hear about the guy.
Thomas. Great pass from Cartwright to Grant. Smothered inside. Here come the Pistons. Crowd wanted a foul. Thomas penetrates and lays it in. Terrific defense advantage if there is one. And the Bulls, by the way, are unbeaten 5-0 in postseason here.
Hey.
But they're going to have to stop the penetration, and I don't know whether the Bulls...
It will eventually loosen up everything underneath.
They're shooting 39
Damn,
for
he
the
got a
first 2
trigger
games.
on
And Thomas hits a 3-point basket. Lambier the rebound, and now the Pistons can take the lead, and Aguirre is going to give it to them. So 6 straight points.
Yo, this guy got
Arcs a 3 and the second 3-point basket today for Isiah. Throws it into the hands of Aguirre. 3-on-2 break for Detroit. Thomas with a short jumper. And now a 10-point lead with Edwards, Thomas, Rotten, and Dumars. Thomas breaks away in Game 3. Rotten got a piece of it. Thomas pulls up for a 3, and he's got it.
Dude, this guy's lighting him up.
Paxson hanging in there with Isiah. Isiah feels he can hit everything right now. That's the zone. And 9:40 to go in the final quarter. Thomas over Armstrong hits that one.
See,
Thomas and Dumars at guard.
See, you're only down 8 here, and you have 3 minutes to go. Plenty of time. You've got to go to your strength.
Thomas.
Oh my.
Isiah Thomas gets 2 back.
It doesn't look that way. Look for the 3.
Jordan giving him heat on the 3, and he hits it anyway.
Hold on. Where my soul comes at? fuck on. Chat. Hold the hell on. Did this guy that's speaking cross up Jordan and 3-pointer in his face?
And you had 3 minutes to go. Plenty of time. You've got to go to your strength.
Thomas.
Yo!
Isaiah Thomas gets 2 back.
It doesn't look that way. Look for the 3.
Jordan giving him heat on the 3, and he hits it anyway. Isiah Thomas with 4 3-point baskets, and Chicago calls a timeout. Thomas, 4-2. He played in the first half.
This guy's crazy.
Isiah Thomas. Steal. Thomas. Jordan is there. Dumars. Jordan wasn't going to challenge that.
Same thing with Detroit. Pick and roll, Dick.
There.
Lord. Oh man, Jim Moore. Joe, throw it away, bro. Throw it away, bro. At the end, bro.
Spoon! Spoon! Get the spoon out of there. What are you doing?
You get it out there, you know. You're looking like there's that bacteria on there.
Genius, you know you can't throw something in the recycle bin, right?
What food was that then? Inside the road?
You just pour all of it in the goddamn cycle, and then you keep the goddamn black bag and come back in the room with it. Speedy said it, not me, bruh. I don't know. He said you can't throw something in the recycle bin, or they'll freak you.
Yeah.
So, to take everything out, you might screw some tops off, though. I think you gotta step on it low key.
Take everything out? What do you mean take everything out?
Screw the tops off.
Hold on. Hey, there's food. This can go to the recycling bin.
It's not food. There's not food in there. It's recycle.
Sure.
Yeah. I'll throw food in there. Take your rats. So the ice cream thing just threw in there. It's probably me dripping all the way down. Oh my goodness.
Oh, stop crying, bro.
Now you can't use the bag anymore, bro.
Why not?
You threw ice cream in there now, so all it doesn't get ants.
I just don't get it out. What are you talking about? You don't know how physics works, bro.
Alright, bro, take it out. Come on, chap, cut this all this out.
Everything with Detroit. Pick and roll, Dick.
There it is again. And there it is again.
You see
No.
Why now in the 4th period.
A game like this, you're not going to get that cheap stuff.
Thomas in the lane. Worked it perfectly as a native Chicagoan cuts it to 4.
Big shot by Paxson.
Thomas. Basket good and a foul.
Isiah will challenge.
And they'll go to the line again. So Isiah Thomas, as he loves to go to Chicago, this is his town and his stadium. He's got it again.
Vinnie Johnson, big play.
And Isiah Thomas sneaks in the
Keep
fourth.
an eye on Isiah. Look at this. He's exhausting all of his options here. Now as he steps through and splits, look at that soft release.
Anderson inbounding. He's got Thomas, Sally, Vinnie Johnson, and Dumars. Sally gets a quick basket. Come back. Thomas down the middle.
See, what he's saying is
30 seconds of the first quarter. Both coaches were in agreement. Defensive recognize from Chicago. Isiah.
Isaiah team from the field. Here Thomas
Remember the corner shot the other night that gave him the lead for first quarter. You're right, he's looking the best he's looked in this final. Thomas for three. Does he have it? Isiah Thomas, 18 points. Doing top steam, the pick-go in the first period. For good. Oh, in the last couple, Lane Beer makes a fine steal on the pass. That's the third turnover. Isiah Thomas. And it goes through. Thomas from the corner. Remember the corner shot the other night that gave him the lead for good for the Trailblazers with just under 4 minutes to go in the first period. Thomas all the way in. Beautiful play by Isiah. He's got 6. Off the hands of Drexler, another turnover. Look out here. Thomas releasing. And it's now 17-16, the Pistons.
Should see pick and roll basketball here.
Sally rolling to the hoop, nothing doing. Thomas scoops it, and 14 on the shot clock for the Pistons.
Yo.
Thomas will fire for a 3 and hit it.
This
and
guy.
Isiah Thomas now with 13 points.
Now loose ball with 17 seconds to go. You should help for the last shot.